This is the Demia Avery Show, hosted by Demia Avery, where some of your favorite entertainers, celebs, and entrepreneurs come to highlight all of their many talents. It's now time for the Spotlight of the Day.
Hello, everyone. This is Demia Avery with the Demia Avery Show and WHQR. Listen, y'all know y'all can't see me, but I am over here with the biggest Kool-Aid smile ever on my face. I have the pleasure and the honor of interviewing someone very special in the house today. This gentleman I have on the line here is an icon. He's an actor, an author, a martial artist, a film director, and an inspiration to so many, who has given the world so much joy, especially with his most memorable role as Leroy Green, aka Bruce Leroy, in the cult classic The Last Dragon. Please welcome the legendary Taimak. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Wow, thanks for the introduction. I really appreciate that.
You're quite welcome. Now, listen, first, I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your very busy schedule to talk to us today. It is very gracious of you. Thank you so very much.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Now, I hear you're going to be in town in Wilmington, North Carolina for the Three Chambers Festival. That's awesome. And to my understanding,
Yeah.
you're going to do a performance like while the Last Dragon movie is playing. It's a series called Can I Kick It? It's like a hip hop mashup with the movie. How does that make you feel, knowing that you're a part of something that's considered a cult classic, and the fact that this generation is still loving your work? How does that make you feel?
Yeah, it's fantastic because, I meet people that are young and old and different diversity, all over the world. It's just amazing. Who would have ever knew that this was going to happen?
Yeah, yeah. So are you going to be able to talk to the audience? Are you doing a meet and greet there as well?
I'm doing a Q&A and I'm signing autographs afterwards and all that. Yeah.
Oh, that is awesome. Now, I know you've done so much work beyond The Last Dragon, but I have to make sure that I talk about that. Did you expect the film to become as popular as it did? And how did that shape your life
Well,
after that?
yeah. I mean, I was a huge uh, martial arts film buff
Uh-huh.
and I was a martial arts competitor. So I was engulfed in it just as much as anybody in the country. So I said to myself, damn, this is, I haven't seen anything like this since I was, you know, real little. Like, when I saw Bruce Lee, when I saw
Right,
Jim Kelly. So I was like, wow, this is going to be great. But
right.
I had no idea it was going to last this long. I had no idea. I was 19. I was 19 when I got it.
Wow, wow, just 19. So
Yeah, it changed my whole life, right?
I bet it did. I bet it did.
I wasn't pursuing acting.
Now, I know there's been some talks for many years about possibly doing a remake. And how do you feel about that? Because I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not like, when there's a classic out there, I don't like touching classics. I just don't. But how do you feel about it?
Well, a lot of young guys' hearts that want to character again. So I don't want to break their heart. Hollywood is one that does what they want to do without any consideration. If they want to do that, they'll do it. They don't care what you think. But if you're asking me, I
Yeah.
would I would think it's best to leave it alone. My personal opinion. Uh, uh, I do see uh, not a remake, but maybe somewhat like they did Cobra Kai, something like that, where it's bringing other characters in and making it really special and something like that,
Yeah.
generational. And if it's a film, I only see it as a sequel, but it would have to be other characters involved, a story that lend to some of the similarities
Mhm.
that were in The Last Dragon, but not, obviously Vanity is no longer with us.
Right.
Julius Carey, who played Shonuff, so it's not gonna be the same, right?
Right.
But just and the energy of it, get something, people would be happy with that. See what happens.
Would you consider being a part of it in some way?
People ask me that. I don't own the right. oh, I'm the star of this thing.
Yeah.
When it comes to that kind of thing, uh, it's a Hollywood thing, you know.
Yeah.
So that means there are politics involved and things like that, and and I don't focus on it. Let's just put it that way. You know,
Understood.
I focus on uh, taking care of my health right now with the spinal injuries I've had that are
Mm,
getting better, and that's my focus. And then greeting fans around the country and then the world. You know, that's giving them love, giving
right.
them love, and that's the most important thing to me.
Understood.
And I'm a fan friendly guy. You know, I want to give more excitement, give more love to my fans, and that's the most important thing for me. You know, I'm not into the politics. If they want me involved, if they can get it together, you know,
Yeah.
right now it's a situation where they haven't gotten it together. So who the hell knows what's going to happen? You know, you know
Now,
what I mean?
I know I know exactly what you mean, but I do have to ask you that you know that the choreography in The Last Dragon was so exceptional, and you've trained in, of course, multiple martial arts disciplines. What for the fans, and especially for the new fans that you have, I do have to ask, what drew you to doing martial arts initially in the first place?
Well, my father was a big fan of his buddy Gerald Orange, and he was he was really wanting his sons, he had me and my brother, to
Hmm.
be like, you know, he was aware that there's danger out there in New York, and we need some, you know. So that's kind of where he was coming from with that,
Uh,
and it stuck with me. It didn't stick with my brother, and that's how it started when I was little. You know?
well, okay, so I have a crazy question to ask you. Yeah, I'm glad you said that, the crazy streets of New York. So after, you did the
Well,
film and everything.
you know about the
Right,
crazy streets of New
right.
York
So okay, you did the
back then.
film. Well, it's still somewhat crazy.
Yeah, I guess, but no comparison. Trust me.
No comparison. But
Uh,
okay, so off the screen, okay, after you did the film and everything, did you have a lot of people test you, like a lot of martial
no,
art people?
I had nothing but love for other martial artists. I
Really?
they gave me nothing. Okay, yeah, you make a movie like that, they get where they're gonna come. Hey, I want to beat you up. No, no, who wants to beat up Bruce Leroy? No, they
I
want to
figured I was
train with.
I
They
just
want to
thought they was
train
gonna
with
test.
Bruce Leroy. They want to train with him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was what it is. Maybe one or two fools, but they never, you know, it didn't measure out to me much. And I was just as crazy as they are, so I was always up for it. You know, if they want to go, they want to go. Let's go. I remember one time, remember Debo and
Yes.
Friday?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. You know, he and I became friendly, and he said, "I want to see you go. I want to see you go, Taimak. Let's go to Benny." So we went over to Benny Jet, uh, the legendary Benny Jet kickbox studio. I
Uh-huh.
and they had me do some sparring. He goes, "Man, you could go, man." He was flipping out. He was so funny. Man, that was in Benny Jet, man, wonderful guy. Don the Dragon Wilson, all these kind of legendary kickboxing people. Yeah, it was fun.
Well, who was your influences? Who was your hero? Like, if you had to pick somebody that you was just like,
Number one. Who else? Bruce Lee,
yeah,
Muhammad Ali. Who
really?
else?
Okay.
Those two. You can, you know, that was it. And then, you know, honestly,
Hmm.
uh, uh, there are plenty of the Asian kung fu movies, right?
Hmm.
So there's you can go down the list of the Shaw Brothers stars, you know, that
Right.
stars of the Five Deadly Venoms, you know, the Eight Diagram Pole Fighter. You know, look at the samurai movies. You got everything from the Seven Samurai
Hmm.
to Shogun's Assassin. It just goes on and on and on and on and on. And it was just great growing up. If you were interested in the martial arts, it was great growing up around that those themes. You know,
Yeah.
it's
And
what kept me motivated.
now, when The Last Dragon came out, I was a teenager, and and although I was used to seeing black kids in martial arts because I have an uncle. I grew up in Gary, Indiana, and he had a karate school in Gary, Indiana. Shout out to them at School of Karate. But I had never seen that type of figure on the big screen. So
Right.
was that a lot of pressure on you? like a lot of responsibility for a Black person to be on the screen doing that. Was that any type of responsibility for you?
Well, I didn't, I grew up very different than most Black kids in America,
Mhm. Okay.
because I was living in Europe when I was a kid, and they
Mm.
had a different sensibility around color than
Okay.
in America. There was more freedoms around their identity and color, so I didn't walk with it.
Okay.
It wasn't something that I carried around. If
Understood.
I experienced anything that was negative,
Mhm.
racist or anything like that, I dealt with in the moment and let it fly away
Got
because
it.
I wasn't taught to carry it around.
Hmm.
Uh, and it was very healthy for me because I had friends from all, anywhere, any race, any color, all around the world.
Right.
And that kept me aligned. The most important thing to me was um, I wanted to be as responsible as a human being could be. As a 19, I was 20 when it was done shooting.
Hmm.
Uh, as I want to be as responsible as I could. I
Right.
wasn't an angel, but what I did know is, hey, let me not get into drugs. Let me not get violent with people.
Right.
Uh, let me just get better as an actor, and that's kind of and in martial arts. That's kind of how I approached it.
Mm.
I did good in some ways. I did bad in other ways. Um, it took a long time for me to get deep into who I really was
Hmm.
and let go of what I thought I was and yeah. So that was the spiritual journey. The whole thing of the last dragon. You are you are the last dragon, right? So that you go through these stages in life,
Yeah.
and then if it's a choice to complete yourself, to
Mm.
complete yourself is to be whole within yourself,
Right.
and not looking outside yourself to complete yourself.
Now, is that what your book was about? Because I know you've written a book, Taimak, the Last
That
Dragon.
was the one stage of it. That was one stage of it. That was like 7 years ago I wrote that.
Okay.
Uh, However, I think the circle's about to close because I think when you're able to live in gratitude,
Mm-hmm.
that is the completion of your circle. When you're
Okay.
recognizing all your abilities and you're recognizing all your potential and you have gratitude no matter what comes your way, it's always a blessing. You
Yeah.
can, and when you start from that place,
Mm-hmm.
right, that's when the miracles happen. That's when they happen.
Mm. Mm. That's a great lesson there. You're kind of speaking of gratitude and humbleness. So, if you weren't an actor or a martial artist, is there something else you would have thought you wanted to be? Is there anything else?
Well, before I did the last dragon, I was like, maybe I can go to college to study physical therapy, PE with kids and stuff like this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's where my head was at. But
Yeah.
then the last dragon came about, so it changed everything. I mean, there was no money in kickboxing, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of where my head was at.
Mm. So, what would you say, I guess, would be your most fulfilling thing that happened to you, or your journey so far? Was it like mentoring other people, or is it just being, because you're actually a role model for a lot of people, I wouldn't even just say kids. I would just say people in general.
Well, thank you. Well, I've seen that more and more over the years, and getting present to it more and more now, since a lot of young men out there grew up on the movie. You know,
Yeah.
so it's an honor to be looked at that way.
Yeah.
And what's good now is back years ago, I couldn't really feel um, what's the way I can explain it. I don't know. The word isn't worthy. It's more taking it as a complete positive thing, you
Mm.
know,
Yeah. Yeah.
and being able to absorb it. And when people say, "Man, you changed my life. You made me get into martial arts." Oh man, and women tell me things like, it was even inspirational to me, and I'm not a martial artist, or things like this, or even if they are, it was just that they got so inspired, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so for me, I'm like so happy about that because you know that's what life is about. It's about inspiring people, breathing air into other people, you know,
Yeah.
and for them in a way where they can be the best human being they could be for generations to come. And what could be better than that?
Right.
So it's you know, as I've gotten older and wiser, I'm able to give what is giving me this great energy and you know and this taking in something that was so long ago, and,
Right. Mhm.
and to be able to say, hey, look, it doesn't matter if I make another movie in the rest of my life. This is something that's impacted people around the world. There's a painting in Sao Paulo of me in the streets that they sent me pictures of. Uh, you know, I've been to Germany. It's you know, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, is there something that you have not done yet that you want to do? Like, what is it that we can look forward to from you? Because you are, whether you know it or not, you're a part of our lives. Like, we feel like we grew up with you.
Yes.
You're in our homes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I would like to keep working.
Okay.
I did get a lot of problems with my spine, but injuries that really had me have to stop training like I normally did.
Wow.
Uh, and that was a good thing for me to. It didn't feel like a good thing, but it was a good thing for me to slow everything down. And it was probably my destiny to get, you know, to learn the lessons through being uh, locked up without being able to move much, you know, and to really pay attention, you
Yeah.
know, because honestly, especially, you know, if you grow up in a city, but
Hmm.
even if you don't,
Yeah.
there's always things and distractions that uh, really don't give people a chance to really feel and know who they are, you
Mm.
know?
Yeah.
So when you're able to close your eyes and meditate, close your eyes and let go of your identity
Mm.
and put your attention on your heart and feel the love that is within you,
Mm.
then 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 there's no separation.
Got it.
Then people start to see you as a different human being. But if you're always looking at what is out there, what isn't there for you,
Hmm.
and why this upsets me and that upsets me, then you're caught up in the vicious cycle of this dimension, and it's gonna just continue to be a predictable future, you
Mm.
know.
I
So,
completely understand. And yeah, I'm so glad I got the chance to ask you some questions and interview you today because um, listening to you, you are so much more than what I expected. And not in a bad way. It's just you are so much more than just an actor. And I love to hear that you think about life in all aspects. So it's my honor to be on this line with you today. So I thank you so much for just showing you who you are as a person. So thank you so much for that.
yeah, we're in a dance in life together. That's how we are, you know. It's
Yeah.
you know, you get what you give. I know that's cliche, but it's literally the truth, you know. But you know, so know who you are and what you have to offer as a human being. Don't have expectations that people should behave a certain way if they don't give you something because they're on their trip. But just whatever you get, make it the best. Make it the best day of your life.
That's right. So can we expect any more anything from you in the martial arts world? I know you have an injury right now. I don't know. Are you going to continue
Well, I'm getting better. I'm getting better. It's just that when it comes to the spine, uh, I avoid surgery and I'm getting better, but it takes time. and it
Okay.
takes patience, and it takes a rigorous mental attitude, and God's gift, you know. So I did work with I did some evil character on this show called Double Cross. That if you go to my Instagram, I am Taimak, you'll see a scene from that.
Okay.
But I've written something that I'm working on, and yeah, so I've written some things and I'm fine tuning some things. I'm also developing my work as an actor and writing at the Actors Gym in New York City with same director, producer, writer uh, Bobby Morusco. He's
Okay.
a Oscar-winning writer, and we workshop our work there, and we just work on getting better and better and better, and that's what's happening. So
Awesome.
as the year closes and as the next year opens up, there'll be things I'll be able to update people on.
Awesome. Well, we can't wait to see you here in Wilmington, North Carolina. But I do have a question before you go. It's my last question. It's a fun question and it's kind of personal, but I promise you it's not too personal. For the Demia Avery Show, I am a lover of old school music, and I usually ask my guests this question because it gives the fans an opportunity to get to know the person a little bit better. So you have to give me a name of your favorite old school artist or song. Who does
Oh
Time
God,
Out like?
you know, you get first of all, I want to give a shout out to Helen and Phil, Colin, and little Jackson, my little boy there. That's like family over there. And Helen has this show that is right. You guys got to connect. I'm going to connect her with you.
Okay.
Because she does the same thing. She has such a favorite. Come on. This is like years of great music. But I'll tell you this.
Okay.
There's people who've done beautiful renditions of "Look for Love," and one of them, Isaac Hayes did the look of love.
Yeah.
Oh my God, what
You
a
love
song!
that song.
And then I heard Diana Krall do one. I was like, and then all these other. This song is amazing.
Oh, I got you. The look of love is in your eyes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Just whether you're at the beach, whether you're taking a bath, whether you're just chilling, it just takes you away. You're like in love.
Uh,
Wow. Wow,
yeah.
what a song. That's the
Oh,
great thing about music, right?
that's
Wow.
right. That is right. I love it. I love it. See, maybe now the people that don't know something about Tom Mugna, they know that Tom I likes that song.
I like many songs, but that you put me on the spot to pick a great one, so that's one.
All
Wow.
right. So listen, we don't want to take too much more of your time. Thank you so much for joining us on today's show. I hope I get a chance to see you when you come
December 5th.
and on it. That's right. That's right. And we are going to let you get back to doing your thing. We want to thank Tamak for joining us today, and we will catch you on the other side. I'll see you on the 5th, okay?
My pleasure. My pleasure.
All right. Have a good one.
You too, love.
All righty. Bye-bye.